She alleges Diddy's son, King, became obsessed with her while she worked as a stewardess. She claims the yacht job had been advertised as family-friendly. She goes on to claim that while working, King pressured her to take a shot, which she suspected was spiked. She then alleges that King cornered her and tried to force her to give him but she fought him off.
And then all of a sudden, they rush to do the coroner come in and say, yo, she had she had pneumonia, she died of pneumonia, but nobody did no autopsy or nothing like that. Get out of here. Have her funeral, put her in a gold casket. It takes, what, 2 months to get those gold caskets, had it within a week? Or you're a millionaire, I guess you can. You're a multi-millionaire, you can get it that quick.
The hits just keep on coming against P. Diddy, with a string of new civil lawsuits filed against the embattled music icon just this week. But Diddy isn't the only one who's facing some major allegations. Two of his sons, Justin and Christian Combs, are both name-dropped in several civil suits that list Diddy as a defendant. And the accusations against them are pretty serious.
Kim Porter's death has always been one of the most unsettling mysteries connected to Diddy. She was a healthy woman, a devoted mother of 3, and had no serious medical issues, yet she suddenly died of pneumonia. That alone raised questions. But now, with Diddy's legal troubles growing and rumors that the FBI might be reopening the case, more disturbing details are coming to light. The latest twist? Diddy's son, King Combs, is now somehow linked to Kim's mysterious death. Diddy's former bodyguard has been one of the strongest voices demanding the truth from the start. He has never believed the pneumonia story, and now his suspicions are starting to make more sense.
My man, I wish, for the sake of Kim's family, because bruh, if you know what I know, he put Kim in a gold casket, then has security, 24-hour security at the funeral home, so nobody would go in there and touch the casket or take Kim out of there. I think that they should reopen our case and have an independent pathologist look at everything about her so she can rest in peace. So, I know people, paperwork, and this other young lady on the internet, they are spearheading the reopening of Kim's case. And I hope they do.
How you feel about that personally? What do you think happened to Kim Porter?
Well, personally?
Yeah.
I just can't believe that somebody that had the normal flu, that had doctors on speed dial, that they had enough money that they could get the half of the hospital to come to the house and take care of her, that she died of just pneumonia like that. And if you get that point where you can't breathe, and if you know you ever had a cold so bad, I had COVID and I couldn't breathe, but I still made it to the hospital on my own. I can't believe that she stayed in that house, laid in that house, and died like they said she died. So my personal opinion is that somebody needs to reopen that case, and there needs to be a person that can do an independent autopsy to tell us the truth about what really happened to Kim Porter.
What did you see him do with Kim Porter?
I seen him inside the car, grab her up. I seen him smack her, you know. And one thing about Kim is Kim got to the point where she fought back. because she realized how powerful she was. It was one incident on Sunset Boulevard in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel where I just seen the car rocking back and forth. You know, of course he put everybody out the car, but I seen the car shaking, so I opened the door. I said, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? You see where we at and what are you doing? And Kim got out the car like nothing happened, and she fixed her hair and she told him, she said, I want to see you explain to the media that scratch I'm gonna put across your face if you put your hands on me again. And that was Kim's attitude. Kim's attitude was, she realized that what he had to explain meant more to him than anything. And once she realized she had that power, she said, nah, not no more. Because you're gonna have to explain why you all marked up.
Jean recently revealed that before Kim's passing, she often had bruises. After Cassie's lawsuit exposed Diddy's violent behavior, those bruises are starting to make a lot more sense. We all saw the CNN footage. But things get even darker. Kim's laptop and iPhone mysteriously disappeared after her death. Gone, wiped clean, with no traces, no records, and no explanations. And somehow no one questioned it.
Right. I respect it. Kim Porter, you was telling me before this interview that Dallas Austin, his daughter, was at her house the day she died.
Yo, I heard that the paperclip party broke that story because it was told to them by Kim's Porter father that is in the police report. That this is in the police report that Dallas Austin's daughter, who was a friend of Kim, left her house at 8 o'clock. That Kim had made a call, 911 call at 2:15 that morning. And I don't know what happened in the 911 call or what was said, but they said that Dallas Austin's daughter, according to Kim's father, was the woman that left her house at 8:15. So she was the last person, according to her, to see Kim alive. And that was broken by the paperclip party because they had a conversation with Kim's Porter father. That's crazy. Now, what was Kim's state? Why did, and in the report, didn't it say she had blood on the pillow and bruises or something like that? The case needs to be reopened, man. The case really needs to be reopened. Because if that girl was there and she said that Kim was all right, what happened from 8 to 11? And why did all Kim's stuff come up missing?
I ain't know any of that, man. I never heard of that. So when they found her, she had bruises and a lot of her stuff was missing?
Bro, it's a lot of suspect things going on. First and foremost, in our day and time, other than our house key, a woman gonna keep her phone and you know, she got a lot of different purses, but everybody always grab their phone. Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter phone is? And they know they had iPhone. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone? Because everything that came in that phone is text, and you know your iPhone find my phone. Nobody tried to find the phone? I would love for her son, who has all the rights, to go to and get all the stuff out the clouds. Her last text, who she calling, who she spoke to, who called her, where were the last place her phone was at before it was destroyed and cut off. It will tell you that too.
You personally, what do you think happened to Kim Porter?
I'm not a medical nor I was an investigator on that case. I don't believe that an individual with her, I want to say, financial status would lay up in the house and die of pneumonia without a doctor or some kind of medical person responsible. So I think it may have been some, I guess, foul play. But we need to get what the fire department, what the coroners, what the pathologists, and everybody, you know, say.
So you feel like she was?
I feel that it was some foul play in her death. A lot of foul play.
Diddy's manipulation was so effective that he managed to hide the most shocking details. These were things that should have raised alarms from the start. Before Kim's sudden and suspicious death, she and Diddy reportedly had a violent altercation. She was left covered in bruises while he was seen with a bandaged wrist, hinting at something much darker.
I want you to look at this photo, right? Check out this photo with Diddy with a medical wrapper on his wrist. Was this after the fight he had with Kim Porter?
Yeah, that's the same time, man. Same hand, right hand. If you look at it, it's on his right wrist, right up in there. Kim hit like it almost severed the artery. He was bleeding like crazy, and that's the reason, and that's when that opioid crisis came out. That's the reason I knew that shit was serious, because that's what got Puff hooked on drugs.
Wow, yeah, I got this from a photographer. He said that he took this in 1996 at a 112 video shoot. But for the people that don't know the story, right, let the people know what led to, Kim Porter slashing Puffy wrist with a corkscrew.
Right. Well, I was off that weekend because I usually have Puff on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Friday after work, Saturdays and Sundays. He was staying with Kim the whole weekend, so he said he wasn't going out. He wasn't going to do anything. So I said, cool. He told me I was off. So now I get a call. It's on a Saturday. And it's from Kirk Burroughs and Paul. They're like, yo, Gene, Puff is by himself over at St. Luke's Hospital. I was like, yeah, what happened? They say, yo, Gene, you gotta get over there because ain't nobody, nobody there with him, blase this, that, and the third. So I rush over to St. Luke's Hospital. I see Kim, they in the emergency room. Flash my badge, I go up in there, I ask them what room we in, they let me know, so boom. I see Kim, she's in distress. And you could tell that by her arms being folded, she was like, if I'm describing it, she was in distress herself, whereas that she could have been in pain, she could have been hurting, because I did see a bruise on her face, and I seen bruises on her arm. I seen bruises on her arm and on her hand. And then Puff was sitting in the chair and with the thing wrapped around his arm, telling Kim that this is how I make my living. You could what you call my living. You could mess up my whole living. He was trying to make her feel bad. So I was like, what the F is happening? So I'm just listening to the dialogue between them two. And he's sitting up there blaming her. And then she was like, yo, I told you to stop. And then she wouldn't say it. She said, I told you to stop. You wouldn't stop. So then the nurses came in there. He had to have, some kind of surgery and everything like that. And that was it. It was from them fighting. Kim said, because I asked her, Kim said that he wouldn't stop hitting me, and I grabbed the corkscrew and made a mistake and caught him on the wrist. It's a hell of a mistake, Kim. So that's what happened.
Wow, and you said that's what got him hooked on drugs?
That's what got him hooked. He couldn't get off those pills. Man, we used to meet this little white guy that he would give Puff a bottle of pills like this. Like once, like every 3 to 5 days, you know what I'm saying? Every 3 to 5 days, they would have a pill bottle like this for $1,500. And this little white kid, whatever Puff called him, he was there with him. I don't know where he was getting them from. Maybe his father, he worked at a pharmacy, his father was a doctor or whatever. But this was way before that crisis came in. These was, what they call them? Not Tylenol or codeine, but these were straight, I think codeine or opioids or something like that.
While there's no direct proof connecting Diddy's son, King Combs, to Kim's death, the rumors are getting louder. When Diddy was arrested, King stood by him, brushing off any claims about Kim's death as just a wild conspiracy.
And Sean Diddy Combs' kids are speaking out for the first time since the music mogul was taken into custody. 4 of his 7 children released a statement on Instagram saying they want to clear up false rumors about their mother. Meanwhile, a new accuser is coming forward. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has the latest.
The children of Sean Diddy Combs are speaking out for the first time since their father's arrest last week. 4 of Combs' 7 children writing on Instagram, "We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mom's tragic passing, that we feel the need to speak out. Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not. And anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves." A 60-page unverified book published earlier this month claimed to be the collection of diaries of Porter, who died at the age of 47 in 2018. The children, who don't mention their father's arrest in the statement, go on to write, "Our mother should be remembered for the beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories." The message coming as another accuser goes public with allegations against Combs. Talia Graves claims in a civil lawsuit Combs and his bodyguard drugged, bound, and her in 2001 and filmed it.
It's a pain that reaches into your very core of who you are, and leaving emotional scars that may never fully heal.
The 54-year-old Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges he led a criminal conspiracy that women.
And Aaron Katursky joins me now with more on this. Aaron, how significant is it to have a new accuser making claims like this on camera as Diddy's facing these criminal charges?
Well, look, she is detailing in an anguished appearance with her attorney, Gloria Allred, what she said happened to her in 2001 and the lasting impact that she said it had on her, and coming after Sean Combs' arrest on criminal charges perhaps lends some additional credibility because he's already been charged in a racketeering conspiracy that sought out women for.
She's also filed a civil suit. Could that affect the criminal case at all?
The civil suit is at least the 12th filed against Sean Diddy Combs, and the first one from last November by Cassie Ventura is really what touched off the criminal case that led to Diddy's arrest and subsequent not guilty plea on the 3 criminal counts. Without the civil suit, there are probably not criminal charges against Sean Combs, but all the civil cases are now likely to be paused while the criminal case takes priority.
Now, some of Combs' children issued this statement on Instagram, speaking out in defense of their mother, but they didn't really mention their father. What do you make of that?
It was an interesting statement coming a little more than a week after Combs' arrest here in New York, and the children seemed quite protective of Kim Porter's legacy because there's this 60-page unverified manuscript online that claims to be Kim Porter's diary entries or a compilation of some of her thoughts. And the children said that it just isn't true. And they didn't want her and her memory commingled with him and the criminal case that he's now facing.
And what's next in that case now?
He's back in court in early October. For now, he is being housed in protective custody at a federal jail in Brooklyn. He's in a dormitory-style open housing cell with Sam Bankman-Fried, among others.
All right, senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky, thank you.
How are you doing this morning? How's it going, Justin? Let's see, how are you feeling this morning? How's the twins?
The similarities between King Combs and his father are unsettling. Remember, King was already part of a lawsuit after a disturbing yacht incident. Now CNN audio recordings have emerged, hinting that he may be more dangerous than we realize.
New audio has surfaced as part of a lawsuit that accuses Christian Holmes, Sean Diddy Combs' son, of assault. The music mogul is not accused of in the lawsuit, but is included over allegations of liability and aiding and abetting. The lawsuit cites audio from a makeshift recording studio on the yacht where the alleged happened. This is the latest in a series of lawsuits filed against the rap mogul and businessman. Both men, father and son, deny the allegations against them. CNN national correspondent Camila Bernal joining me live with details on this. Camila, what more are you learning?
Hey, Fred, so in this audio that CNN has listened to, you can specifically hear the accuser who alleges that she was being forced to take this tequila shot that she believed was laced with drugs. And in the audio, you can hear her asking Christian Combs if she was being drugged, and he answers, "Take the shot." Now, just to put things into perspective, the accuser was a crew member on the yacht. She was a bartender, and she says that shortly after this incident with the shot, she says she was cornered in a room. She says things became aggressive and physical, and then says that Christian Combs forced himself on her, and then says that it wasn't until another employee on the yacht came into this room that she is alleging in this 31-page lawsuit stopped, and she says it only stopped because that person came into the room. Now, I want to read part of what the accuser's attorney is saying right now. What he's saying is, defendant Sean Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a hedonistic environment. It resulted in an unexpected increase in workload for her and for her colleagues, as well as unwanted exposure to unlawful drug use, work, and general chaos. Now, why are they naming Diddy in all of this? And it is partially because he was leasing that yacht. Now, he is not accused of but he is accused in this lawsuit of liability and aiding and abetting because he was the one renting the yacht. Now, his attorney, or actually the attorney for both men, also speaking out and denying these allegations, saying this complaint is filled with manufactured lies and irrelevant facts. We will be filing a motion to dismiss this outrageous claim. Again, they have continued to say that this is something that they will fight, that they are innocent in all of this, so we'll have to wait and see how this plays out in court, if it gets to court or if it gets settled at some point, which has been the case with a previous lawsuit. But again, we'll have to wait and see what happens as Diddy and his son continue to say they're innocent, and the victims here continue to say that they were Fred.
And so while music mogul Combs isn't accused of in the lawsuit, he has been accused of a range of misconduct in other separate lawsuits. How might that play into this?
Yeah, as I mentioned, one of the lawsuits was settled, but there are others that are currently pending, right? And so there's a lot of the details that we've learned, and attorneys say that there's audio and video of these alleged crimes, or at least some of the alleged crimes. You're seeing some of those cases there. The one with Cassie was the one that was settled, but there are other ones that we'll still have to wait and see how they play out. And of course, we all saw just last month as Diddy's homes in both Miami and Los Angeles were the target of a federal investigation, and we saw that all play out on video last month. But again, it's important to point out that Diddy continues to say that he is innocent. They said this was a gross overuse of military level force, and they say that he is innocent and will continue to fight to defend
And
him.
just when you think this couldn't get any darker, Gandil dropped a shocking revelation. Kim's casket was ordered 2 months before she even died. Who plans a funeral for someone who's perfectly healthy? This isn't just a red flag, it's a crime scene waiting to be uncovered.
You heard about Albie Shore increasing his security?
You know, I spoke to Al a couple of times, and he texted me a couple of times too. I think knowing the history of them two, if he did increase his security, he have every right to. And I believe that Al knows that Puff has some powerful people, or has some powerful people around him, and some people doing some things for him that could danger his life. His life could be in danger. I don't think nobody would be paying for some security if they didn't think their life was in danger. So I can see Al doing that. I understand why Al is doing that. And I just wish them all the luck. You gotta realize, man, Kim's death wasn't even investigated, bro. Her death wasn't even investigated. And it should have been a proper investigation so all the family members can feel like that there was no foul play in her death. How is it that you know how we are as a people? I don't believe that 10% of your viewers that's watching this don't keep their phone when they go to sleep in arm reach. How is it that there was no electronic products or gadgets around Kim's bed? Her laptop missing, her cell phone's missing. Everything is missing that she could get in touch with her little girls if they not at home, or her friends or family. All that's missing. How is it that, and this is her say, that the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at? That the coroner had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we've read certain things on the internet about it, that case needs to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation. Shout out to Paperwork, at the Paperwork part. I gotta shout him out, man, because he looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia. Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia? And do we know whether she used that baby oil or not for that massage? It makes you say, that's a big man. You gotta understand, man, that it's a lot of stuff that has been happening. Now, some people even said that her casket was ordered 2 months before she died. I don't believe that, man, I swear. I'm not no conspiracy theorist or none of that. But I heard, did you hear something like that, man? That her casting, how you order a gold casting 2 months before somebody died, man? If I'm gonna pay, or they gonna get the money up, what is it, to resume her body? If they gonna get the money up to dig her body back up and have a real autopsy done on there, have a real investigation on there, who's it gonna hurt? I've been knowing Al for a long time.